Build your power team, the referral partners that print you business.
Welcome to the Modern Insurance Agent Podcast.
We're your host, David and Elle Denning.
What happens when a millennial couple dives headfirst into the insurance world, scales $1 million remote business, and decides to share the journey with the world?
You get the Modern Insurance Agent.
Here, we reveal the messy, magical, and sometimes hilarious realities of building a business and a life you love.
From traveling the globe to building remote teams. Yes, even working remotely on top of a mountain in the Philippines. We're sharing insights, strategies, and plenty of laughs to help agents and entrepreneurs succeed.
Because, let's face it, success isn't just about hitting numbers.
It's about designing a life that works for you.
So let's dive in and build something extraordinary together.
Welcome back to the Modern Insurance Agent Podcast. We are excited to dive in with you guys today.
Yes, we are. And as we dive in, remember that you can head on over to jumpstartgonow.com/podcast to get the show notes as well as all of the marketing freebies and goodies.
Make sure to grab those, guys. So today we're going to be talking about how referrals are the highest quality leads an agent can get. You know, let me know if you agree or disagree, but I mean, that's what we hear from agents constantly. That's what I believe myself as well. That it's nice when they know you, they already trust you, they're coming to you looking for a solution. It is so powerful, and people are like, man, if only my pipeline was full of those, right? But most agents treat referral partners like a lottery ticket instead of building a real team, right?
Yeah. And not just a lottery ticket, just kind of gambling, but they also play like their business is a solo sport when really you could think about your referral partners being part of your team. And that's what we're going to dive into today, is that so many agents are really missing out on the opportunity to tap into a power team of strategic partners and how to actually build your power team. So we're excited to break it down in today's episode.
Awesome. So we're going to break down exactly how to pick those partners, build that synergy, and turn referrals into a system that prints you business. So I guess probably one of the best places to start, Elle, is, what is a strategic referral partner, and then like what makes a good one? But, in your mind, Elle, in definition, what's the difference between just like anybody potentially referring you business and a strategic referral partner?
Yeah, so strategic referral partners can really be boiled down into people that have two things that I'm going to look for in this. And the first thing is going to be that they have traffic, okay? That they have some sort of audience, that they are not, you can have people that are just getting started in business and you're just getting started in business and maybe you guys kind of like build together, but a real strategic relationship is going to be somebody that already has traffic with the audience, with the people that you are trying to reach. So that's number one, traffic. And then number two is going to be trust. Okay. So if they don't have trust with the audience that you're looking to connect with, then that also doesn't really do you much good, because that's kind of the power of a referral to begin with, is that there is a transfer of trust that's happening when they are referring you. So great strategic referral partners that you want to be thinking about building your team with are going to have traffic and trust.
Traffic and trust, guys. And so with that, I want to leverage that. Like this is a transfer of trust, like Elle was talking about. And so the main difference too is, yes, over time, I'll come across people in business or connect with that may remember who I am, what I do, and send me a referral every once in a while, or clients sending referrals, which is absolutely something that should be happening and something you should have in place in your business. And if not, that's a whole separate trainings we can talk about here. But when we talk about strategic referral partners, we're talking about those that can send 10, 15, 20 plus deals a month. We're talking about about that traffic converting to referrals and business for you as a part of that. And we'll talk about how they're value driven, all that kind of stuff too. But at the end of the day, if they can't send the stuff over, it's someone who knows who you are, but it's not necessarily a strategic referral partner. They got to have that level of influence and authority as a part of it. So, the first thing besides traffic and trust is alignment with your target audience. They could have traffic and trust, but if it's with some people that are not your ideal audience at all or that you could help, then it's not really going to matter too much. I mean, if they have a lot of influence and trust with a bunch of 6-year-olds because they like doing unboxing videos online and the kids love their toy reviews, it does not going to help you with insurance on that side because I can't write the insurance for the 6-year-old. They got to get with their parents, right? And so alignment with your target audience is key. So what do we look at with when we're looking for alignment with that target audience?
Yeah. And I think you could even take it one more strategic step forward with that. So, so often we hear that agents are really looking to develop those relationships with like real estate agents, for example. So real estate agents are really great strategic partners because when people are relocating, they're buying a house, they need home insurance, of course. If they're relocating states, then they might need, new car insurance. If just even the fact that they're moving, maybe a change in their health insurance, and then mortgage protection. So you're kind of hitting all lines there as far as what real estate agents can be great referral partners. But really, how you get strategic about this is really understanding that most real estate agents do truly have a niche. Like they have a target market that they're typically really good at, or certain neighborhoods or certain communities. And so if your target market, for example, is going to be maybe more senior focused, but the real estate agent that you're looking to develop a new connection with is focused more with new home buyers and younger families, well, that might not be the most strategic partnership that you can make because you're really looking to start with alignment in the target market. And it can be difficult for you to really understand how you can add value to your strategic referral partners, which is something that we're going to talk about here in a minute, if you have a mismatch in audience out of the gate. So that's really the first thing that you need to look at. And don't just take it on a superficial level. And honestly, this really comes with having conversations with people. You're probably not going to know what the real estate agent really specializes in until you sit down and have a conversation and start asking them questions about, okay, who do you typically serve? What neighborhoods do you like selling houses in? What are the pain points that your clients typically have? What does your intake process look like? And start really discovering who they help and how they help them and more about their process.
Yeah, I mean, so it's essentially who who has my target audience already and who has that trust, know, like, and trust with them already, right? Like I want that. I want those coming over to me. And when we talk about target audience, we're not necessarily talking about just the products, right? We're talking about the actual audience itself, right? Whether it's young families that have kids that are into sports that are homeowners, or it's seniors that are living active and fitness focused lifestyles, thinking about leaving their legacy behind, whether it's busy entrepreneurs looking to grow and scale tax advantage and put that towards further cash flowing assets in the future. There's all kinds of different target markets, but knowing that target market helps make it easier of who works with and has trust with or influence with that target market that can send them over to me, right? So first is knowing your target market, right?
Absolutely. And you can add a lot of value to your referral partners when you know your market well and you know what your market responds to. And then when you find referral partners that also serve that market as well, you're going to typically find natural ways that you can add value to each other because you add value to the partnership by adding value to each other's audiences and client bases. So this is where co-collaborating on social media content together, doing workshops, putting together literature. So if it is like, for example, you find a real estate agent that maybe helps older people that are looking to retire with downsizing. Well, if you supplied something that was like a guide to downsizing, as well as maybe the best senior discount or 55 and up discounts that are in the area locally, that real estate agent is able to put into their welcome packets, that's just created a lot of value and made you stand out from other agents, other insurance agents that are trying to gain this partnership. So again, clarity in your marketing and who you serve is going to help with adding value to that referral partner.
Yeah, and if you're unclear of how you can bring value, just ask.
Yeah.
A lot of them are happy to tell you, and it may be different than you think. I'm thinking of a insurance agent that was trying to connect the real estate agent. And they're like, man, I don't have a bunch of referrals necessarily send back. I don't really want to pay them per referrals. Like, I don't like transactional either. That's not what I'm really talking about. Not a big fan of that. But they're like, but so how do I bring value to this real estate agent? I'm like really thinking about it. It's like, just ask them. It's like, okay, what can I do to help? Oh, I got some open houses coming up. Could you just come help me set up some chairs? I'll introduce you to all the new people looking to buy homes that are probably your target audience. Be like, yeah, I can definitely do that. No problem. Right. But wouldn't have known unless they asked. So make sure you ask. There's a lot of ways to bring value to your referral partners. And also with this, the value of a good strategic referral partner is I'm building trust, I'm building consistency, I'm building a relationship that keeps on sending stuff through versus the one-off handshakes that we think are networking and building referral partners, right? Like we've all probably been to those events. We got around, we shook hands with everybody, collected all the business cards, threw them in a shoebox and said, hey, forget all those people, but hopefully somebody's going to send me some referrals out of this, which they're all saying the same thing when they got home too. And nobody sends anybody anything because nobody was really looking for a strategic referral partner. So we're talking about truly being active and intentional about the referral partners so you can reap the benefits of building these as well, which is also mutual for both sides. Think about it just like building a pipeline and bringing in business, just like you would prospects, except I don't need a bunch of strategic referral partners. Even a few quality ones keep my pipeline entirely full. So it's worth it building these relationships out.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of times, like agents are out there and they're making the connections, and they're even getting the yes from potential referral partners that are saying, "Oh yeah, I'm happy to send people over to you." And but then they just kind of leave it like that. It's kind of like if a prospect was like, "Oh yeah, I'd be happy to sit down and talk about, having a review of coverage done," and then you never followed up on them. That's just the beginning of the conversation. So when you again really start to think about ways that you can actually collaborate together, and then you're also putting consistency into the relationship by putting dates on the calendar. I'm very, very big on putting dates on the calendar. When we do a collaboration, we're like, oh yeah, we have this awesome idea about a workshop that we're going to do together. Okay, well, I'm looking at the calendar and I'm thinking, when are we going to do this? And before we get off from the call, we either have a date on the calendar that we're going to talk about when we're going to put a date on the calendar to do the collaboration, or we have a date on the calendar to do a collaboration. Very big in that your relationship really isn't solidified until you have true steps about how you're going to be working together. And then through the development of whatever collab that you're going to be doing, you stay top of mind, you build that consistency, and you build the trust.
Love it. All right. So we talked about what is strategic referral partner. We've talked about why they're important. We talked about what makes a good one. So how do we take this a step further to actually build our team, build our synergistic team? Make sure we draft it right, like your
Yes.
fantasy, right? Put more thought into drafting your fantasy team than your referral partners. We might need to swap some things up, guys. Just saying.
That's so true. Yeah, so you want to think about your connections almost as a team, just like David said. And what's so cool when you start thinking about stepping into really building a referral based pipeline and tapping into strategic referral partners in this way. A lot of times people are like, I don't really know what to do to add value to my referral partners, which we just already gave you some examples of things that you can do. But one of the biggest missed opportunities is that you can become a connector and a network networker that starts bringing together your referral partners. So if you can kind of, again, you almost want to think about this as like your target market is at the center of all of this, and all of your referral partners should be serving the same market. And if you're all serving the same market, then everybody has some sort of mutual value that they could give to each other. And so even if so like if it's a real estate agent and a home inspector, for example, it's like, let's say it's new homeowners that are young families in your local area. That's your target market that you're really looking to connect with and serve. Well, that home inspector and that real estate agent, they definitely could have some synergies, right? A loan officer, we're going to bring in there. Home services, we're going to start bringing in there. So think pest control, landscapers, roofers, painters. All of these people can start to have synergy together. And just by them making connections together, you're creating a lot of value just being in a connector capacity, and building your relationships that way. But also, how does this become a dream team specifically for prospects and clients?
I love it. And I love how you talked about essentially by all having the synergy together, able to achieve more results for less work, right? Like if I have that referral partner that is, hey, let's do this piece of content together. Let's do this event together. Let's do this webinar together. Let's do this in the community to our target audience together. Now I'm getting to tap into their influence, their market plus my market. We're going to do content where I don't have to maybe do all of that. Like we're getting share responsibilities. They're promoting me to their existing clients or their processes. There's all kinds of benefits tied into that. Now, if I have multiple people all doing this, now I have a bunch, right? And I can provide value just off the bat by connecting them with another referral partner, right? So lots of cool ways we do that. So we're an example of dream teams, right? We're an example of what does this look like in practice. So let's take a target audience of new homeowners, maybe families, but new homeowners. That's triggers a lot of these aspects like Elle talked about. So what are some things that could be in the dream team? Some of the ones she mentioned, like new home services, who's the handyman, who's the plumber, who's takes care of the pool. That's great. But let's take primary to the insurance side, right? Because a lot of this can come within the actual industry itself. I don't have to go out of the side of the insurance industry. Also, there's a lot of agents that just synergistic with what I'm doing and already understand insurance. So PNC, cool. Property casualty. So do the home insurance, right? Do the auto insurance, maybe grab their cars while I'm getting their home. Sure. But what also makes sense a part of that process? Who are my target market normally connecting with to go through the process of buying the new home? It's the real estate agent. Okay, cool. They have the initial relationship. They're already talking with them, speaking with them. Usually one of the first people they get started with a part of that process and has a lot of influence during that time. Cool. That'd be great for a strategic referral partner. And then what also makes sense? What do they need when they're buying that home? They normally need a loan. And so the mortgage loan officer that's going through that process and taking them through, and they need to have home insurance in place to close off that anyway. So that's great for my PNC agency, right? So definitely want a mortgage loan officer as a part of that. Now, what else is part of that? Title officers. Yep, that's what handles the whole closing, and that's where the action happens at the closing as well. And so that's a really great one to have as part of that dream team too. And then a life agent that does maybe mortgage protection, helps them ensure protecting that home, their family, maybe policies for the kids if it's a families that are new homeowners. And now I've taken this process in life, this key big milestone and changing point of buying and moving into new home, maybe new location. And I've taken key partners that all play into this process in different areas that we can all help each other around this, whether it's doing webinars or events around, tips and for the new home buying process, for example, putting guides and content around this, connecting with our audiences around this. Let me come in and do a training for some of your clients around, what to look at for home insurance and what plays into the premiums on that. That would be an example of a dream team, right? So Elle, what's another example?
Yeah. So let's take under 65 health. And you can think about this also for your Medicare space as well. But we love for health insurance agents, fitness and wellness. And there's so many different businesses that that really includes, so that could be like your local, local gyms, yoga studios, personal trainers. It could be physical therapists. It could be occupational therapists. And you can really think about that fitness community as well as on the wellness or tapping into, of course, doctors, offices, physicians, eye doctors, dental. They're dealing with this stuff day in and day out, and you can add a lot of value to them, of course, by being that trusted agent that they can actually refer their clients over to help them, with their health insurance. Also thinking about family-focused referral partners. So again, the under 65 audience, if you're thinking a lot of times that's going to be self-employed entrepreneurs. So you want to be thinking about people that either work with families, which might be like family photographers, kids' birthday parties. I love for really any type of family, anybody that has families as their target audience, but then also other businesses that work with small businesses. So you can think about your local SBA, that would be a great connections to have as your small business association, SBA.
Might be
Administration. I'm not sure exactly what the A stands for, but they have a program called SCORE in a lot of cities, which is actually meant for newer business owners to help them get their businesses off the ground. So definitely be looking that up and, developing relationships with people that run those types of programs. And then like even people that do like marketing, website design, logo design, any type of printed promo materials, because businesses need marketing, right? They're usually going to be investing in logos and websites and that type of stuff. I would absolutely look at businesses that help businesses as they get started.
Love it. So, a couple examples of dream teams. Take your target market and not product line, but the actual market itself, and think, who do they interact with? Who do they interact with often? Who do they trust? Who do they trust with the most important things in their lives, which is usually what we're helping too with on the insurance side. Their family, their finances, their health, their most prized possessions. They have nice car. Where do they get that serviced? Where do they get it washed? Where do they get all that stuff done? Like, there's so many things to think through, and that's going to help you very much find these strategic referral partners. Now, and the right team amplifies each other's value, which is key, right? Like, by having this right team, it's not a 1 + 1 = 2. It's a 1 + 1 = 10, right? Like, it comes this exponential growth. They introduce me to more referral partners. Like, hey, this person also works a ton with our target audience, would be a good one for you also. Like, bam, now I've got another referral partner. I only do real estate in this area, but I have a really good partner who does it on the other side of the state and is doing insurance. We're like, we can write anywhere in the state. So that works great for us too, right? So we amplify each other's value as a part of it. And you should be participating in that too. It's mutual. So it needs to be coming from your side also. But Elle, do I want more quality or do I want more quantity when it comes to referral partners?
Well, I think a lot of people have experienced the quantity. If you have a shoebox of business cards, or these days, maybe a contacts list in your phone of a bunch of people that you've met at networking events, but maybe nothing has really come out of them, then you are experiencing the quantity effect of referral partners without the quality of referral partners. Now, there's something to be said there, that I just think that a lot of times the networking intention just really lacks follow through. So it's maybe not the actual person or business owner, but it's more about, honestly, our lack of follow through and follow up from those conversations at networking events that leads to no referrals actually coming through. But just focusing on 3 to 5 core referral partners can drastically change the landscape of your business. I'm thinking about Dylan Baker, one of our clients that really, through one strategic referral partner, generated 544 referrals in 30 days. So even just through, a handful, on your first, 3 fingers, developing true relationships. And again, I can't emphasize enough the importance of this process and follow through. And I think one of the simplest ways to get started with it is figuring out how you guys can collaborate together and putting a date on the calendar for that collaboration. And again, that could be a workshop, that could be social media content that you're doing, it could be some sort of giveaway that you're doing together. We're coming up kind of on the holidays here. It could be a toy drive or a sponsorship or something like that as well. Really, the possibilities are endless of what you can do together. But you just want to make sure that you're doing something together and that you have a date to do that with them.
And I'll give you an example. I just went to an industry event last Friday, and it was for an insurance organization. As a part of that event, they had a lot of the carriers there represented who also helped pay for the event, but it was good for them to connect with those end users, those distribution, those agents that they want to have relationships with and connect with and inform of changes of the industry. That also had other vendors that help those agents with different areas and things, whether it's their, branding, printing needs or licensing and pre-licensing courses and all these sort of things, which, hey, that's also a benefit to everybody as agents are getting in and getting licensed and passing their tests and things like that. It was held at a location that gave them the space for that event, but that was great for bringing people to the location and others being like, oh, I should come back here for a spa day or for the pool or stay at this hotel, for example, right? And so when you look at it, that's just an easy example that most agents have been to, maybe something like that of like, oh, look how all these were brought together and can be synergistic in that, right?
Yeah, I like that you mentioned the hotel. Even when if you're doing in-person events that you are hosting for your clients and for your referral partners' clients, think about hosting the event at a place that would want your ideal client there. So we've done living will workshops in the past for, a little bit more of that retiree audience. And we hosted it in our local community at at an assisted living facility, like a place that would actually, and it was open to the public, but it was also open to residents. So we were able to have residents there in their community center, but then we also opened it up for the rest of the community to come to, and that was beneficial exposure for that assisted living facility. So think about that as well as part of, people are like, I don't know what kind of value to add. Well, if you're going to an assisted living facility that has your ideal client in it, potentially, or a 55 and up community, there's an activities director there. They're usually trying to sell, places for people to stay, or homes for people to move into. And that's a value add to them. If you're like, okay, well, I've got, estate, maybe it's an estate planner. I know for the assisted living facilities, a lot of times they have to hold renters insurance. So a PNC agent being involved with that can be good. So you're thinking about your little task force, but even where you're holding the event, it can become a strategic referral partner as well.
I love that. And to your point earlier, it is about those next steps. So I made multiple connections at the event. I already started, reaching out, sending messages, getting connected on social and stuff off this, and then have a few, strategic referral partners of our own looking to set up meetings with this week as well, right? So taking that initial action, or else it just goes in the back burner and nothing ever happens, right? So got to take action. So we talked about what is a referral partner, what makes a great strategic one. We talked about what kind of goes into dream teams. There's some examples of those and what that looks like and making that happen. So how do we then, we've connected with those, we started building dream team a little bit, making those initial connections. Elle, how do we nurture and activate the team?
Yeah, absolutely.
Activate.
Yes. And this is a lot of what I've been talking about, of like, this is where things go wrong for so many. They will meet at an event, and then a lot of times, they will follow up. They'll be like, hey, we met, like, let's, grab a coffee or jump on Zoom together. And then the conversation kind of goes, you share a little bit about what you do, they share a little bit about what they do. And it kind of leaves with like, okay, well, if you know of anybody that's looking for insurance, like send them over. And then, whoever the partner is, if it's a real estate agent, well, if you know of anybody that's looking for a house, send them over, and then it's kind of like, okay, well, I guess we're referral partners now.
People aware of each other's existence. That I think that's about as far as that.
But really a lot of agents think like, okay, well, I did it, but I'm not getting referrals. Okay, so again, that's not active, that's passive. If you think of anybody, if nobody, send them over to me, that's passive. We need to create a structure that creates referrals for us. And this is where those collaborations and those events come into play. And then also, when you're having your conversations with your potential referral partners, you want to be actively listening for what their current pain points are in their business and see how you can help them fill a gap. So, or how you can add value to part of their process that they're already doing. So, for a lot of professional services or for services like for real estate agents that are working with home buyers and homeowners, there is a intake process with that, a questionnaire that they typically have to fill out for loan officers too. And a simple question that, most of them don't ask is, are you already working with an insurance professional to help you with your home insurance or for mortgage protection? I think the mortgage protection opportunity to educate new homeowners about what mortgage protection is one of the biggest opportunities that really real estate agents could be offering to their client base as they are coming in for new home buyers that are buying for their first home, which, by the way, the target range of new home buyers just keeps getting older and older and older, by the way. And it's such a missed opportunity because the regular person is typically not been approached about mortgage protection. They don't know what it is. And real estate agents, I don't even think fully understand what it is. And so simply by them just asking a question at their intake of their new clients, or, hey, has anybody sat down and talked to you about what mortgage protection is? If they say no, well, then that's an automatic referral that goes over to you. Okay, well, I highly recommend that you sit down with David so that he can at least go through what mortgage protection is and why you may want to consider this, at this time as we go through the home buying process. One question that they're asking in their intake, which can become a whole stream of referrals for you, but you don't know that if you're not asking about what their intake process looks like for their new clients. And again, that becomes a huge value add for that real estate agent because now they've gone one step further to educate new home buyers and make them feel better about the decision that they're about to make.
I love it. And so with also like nurturing, activating the team, like we want to create opportunities together, and that could be just initially like emails out to each other's audiences, getting them introduced to each other, doing a piece of content of us, introducing each other and highlighting each other a little bit to each other's audiences. We can definitely do that, but we want to create opportunities as well, whether that's events, collaborations, doing joint content, like I mentioned, workshops. All these are great ways to give opportunities for both of our audiences plus new audiences coming to us that are our target market from these, right? And now we are able to help support in multiple areas around maybe like tips for new homeowners going through the process, but both from a insurance perspective, a real estate perspective, all these things that like, oh man, now this is even more valuable than from hearing from one of these.
Yeah, absolutely. And then you also want to make sure that you're tracking referrals and updating your referral partners on how those referrals are going. There's nothing that irks me more than when I send a referral over to somebody and then I don't hear anything back. I want to know how it went.
It's honestly a lot of times that simple, right? Like a lot of times you can be this amazing strategic referral partner and people love sending stuff to you just because they know you'll take care of it, do a good job and stay in communication with them and let them know that you took care of that person and that person's thrilled and they're like, glad, cool. I'm happy to send you more, right? But if I'm silent, I would just assume that person never did anything with them and never followed up and or anything because they are never even like got back to me to thank me for it.
Yeah. So, when, especially when you're early on establishing these relationships, I actually recommend that you sit down and you meet with your referral partners at least twice a month, like every 2 weeks. If you're doing a collaboration together, that's going to happen naturally that you're staying in touch. But you really want to build a process and a feedback loop for letting your referral partners know and then thanking them too. Like, oh my gosh, thank you so much for sending that referral over. That means so much to me. And then once you are working with that referral, ensure that you are using white glove service. You're going over and beyond, that you're really taking care of those people because your referral partners will absolutely stop sending you referrals if they hear, oh, yeah, they were kind of slow to respond. I didn't really hear back. Like, I hate that. Like, if I make a referral over to somebody and then I hear from a client, like, yeah, the communication's been a little like touch and go. I'm not exactly sure where we're at. Like, I'm not going to keep sending referrals or recommending somebody if I hear that back from a client.
I mean, I think strategic referral partner relationships, I mean, a lot of that success comes down to just the very beginning. Those first initial couple referrals, that first thing you do together, that you have set up some sort of accountability and structure and
Mhm.
putting that in place. And if you do that, start setting stuff, good experiences, whether or not it like ends in the sale, hopefully it does, but just doing that part well is okay, we're going to do this ongoing, this is going to lead to great things and we're both going to grow and scale versus yeah, this is maybe not worth my time, energy, or really pursuing, right? Behind it is I really want to make sure that that first bit is successful because I'm looking at referral partners. I'm looking for someone ongoing that can be a solution send to work with, not just a one-off. Let me send a couple people over, right? Like that doesn't make as much sense as far as building something that's ongoing and lasting. So that's highly valuable. We just got to do it right.
I love it. So to recap here, your referrals are not random. They're built by design. And I want to go back to the very beginning of this conversation. It all starts with that target market that you're looking to connect with, that niche market. If you don't know who your niche is, it's going to make your referral partners way more difficult and it's going to feel like it's random and not by design. You really start by understanding your market and the value that you bring to that market, and then starting to think about how you can bring value to your referral partners because you both serve that market and have value that you can offer to that market. And a strong power team is what makes your business scalable and predictable. Again, you don't need a ton, you don't need the quantity. Really focus on developing 3 to 5 core relationships. And don't try to do it all at once, just one by one and kind of brick by brick. This will absolutely transform your business.
Love it. So guys, start thinking about it for yourselves as far as who's my ideal strategic referral partner. How can we bring value to each other? Who else would be a part of this team that also deals with that and that we can bring us all synergistically together? And then how can we be intentional about the process and accountability and really building these relationships further, that it's a win-win for everybody as a part of that. So guys, take that, go take action on this as well. Like with anything, if I learn something but didn't apply it, it doesn't really do me much good. So go take action off this, go put this in place. And as always, go to jumpstartgonow.com/podcast to get all the show notes, all the goodies we got for you guys. Reach out. Love to hear from you guys. Questions, anything that we can cover with you guys, just let us know. Thank you for tuning in to this episode of the Modern Insurance Agent Podcast. We look forward to seeing you on the next one.